Hey guys, a lot of action this morning. Just wanted to see if I could catch a trade using my hotkeys. So I'm talking about my new strategy where I use hotkeys to get in and out of positions quickly, and I'm also scaling out. I've already finished trading for today. I had quite a nice green day for me, like 3 times my goal. So I'm only looking, to give you an example. So I'm looking for, only the very best opportunities. I mean, I do that anyway because even when you take the very best setups, they fail sometimes. So no reason to take anything less than the best setup. The market wants your money, so if you're gonna give it to them, it better be because you took the best setup. So out of all of those, HUSA looks the best. What was the other one? Not anymore. I was looking at this kind of retest of this resistance line, and I wouldn't buy anything back here. This is the backside. But if it kind of curled back up and tested it again and then broke through, I could take a trade there. But there's nothing there for me to trade right this moment. Or there was like one or two others that were coming up near the high of the pre-market. Yeah, this one, this one comes back up near the highs. I might take a trade. And like I said, I've already made my goal today, and I don't want to give back a ton of my profits. So if things don't go really well, I might jump out really quick just to, save the profit that I made for today. But if this thing comes back up, it's got to go pretty far, like 95 cents to get back up to the high of day. This is the pre-market. Okay, it just jumped 25 cents. This thing must be extremely low float size. So when they do that, yeah, I mean, look at this, 415, 50 shares, and then this guy got one share for 10 cents higher. I'm not even sure how that happens, but it looks like this thing's going to sell off. It's probably not going to be a trade here. Like I said, I'm not interested in trading anywhere in this region because what you're going to get is people trying to catch this on the way back to the high of day, which sometimes works out. And I guess if you know what you're doing, you're super experienced, you're really good at managing risk, you might be able to take chances like that. But if you're a fairly new trader, not a good idea. The other thing, this is, again, I'm looking to try to make an example of how I use my hotkeys. This stock is pretty weird because there's not one bit of news on it. This is my news window. And so I don't know if this is like insider trading or what. I'm not saying I wouldn't take a trade on it if the chart continues to look super strong. It's trending up on the daily. So it has all of that stuff going for it, but it has no news. So that's not it's missing a major catalyst for a long trade. So, again, if I wasn't trying to make a video where I'm trying to show how I use my hotkeys, I probably wouldn't even be looking at this thing. But if the price action setup looks perfect, I might get in. The other thing that looks really bad here is that it came up to the high of day here, pulled back, retested, and then didn't break through. That would have been another entry for me earlier in the day if I was watching this, and I would have had to sell, somewhere in this candle because it would have definitely stopped me out. And that's a pretty big, it's funny, everything is relative. Like this candle looks small, on a normal chart it would look small, but this candle is actually huge because the low of the candle is 470 and the high is 495. So that's a 25 cent change in 1 minute. I mean, that's volatility right there. Yeah, there's some bigger candles here, but just so you don't get teased into thinking like, oh, I could watch this candle play out and get in over here, and I got a nice tight stop. No, you got a 30-cent stop. That's big even on a high float stock. That's, I mean, maybe not a high float. That's not big, but on a higher price stock, that's even a big range for your stop loss. So it looks like a lot of people are trying to get this thing to go back up, but see, this is why you don't want it. I mean, look at this thing. It just topped out at 420, and then boom, right, in one fell swoop, it jumped down 10 cents. Now it's down another almost 20 cents. So you're thinking about the people that bought in here at 420, 425. I bet you their stop is the low of this candle, or probably $4. So if this thing hits $4, it's going to flush down, guaranteed. If it breaks $4, I should say that. I'm sure there's some people that still, are kind of FOMOing on this stock and are thinking $4 is going to be their entry. So you might see a little chop around $4 and then a down flush if it ever comes back down to $4. Now the opposite is true here. If it breaks through this candle, there's probably going to be a jump toward the high of day. But I bet with some choppiness, because there's a lot of selling pressure here. So this may turn into like a good analysis video if I don't get to show you the hotkeys. But while we're waiting for this thing to play out, just in case I do decide to release this thing, these are the hot buttons, and they are identical to my hotkeys as far as what they do, their function. So I have my keyboard set up for hotkeys right now, and you see this little gear. This is like the settings icon, and this is how I get into stocks right now. I just have it set to quantity 2 because I'm trying to give you an example. I don't want to get in, with a huge position, but you can figure out, how much you want to get in. But basically my idea is I'm going to buy at my full share size that I determine, and then I'm going to get out, scale out at half share size. Oh, so this thing hit 4 and it did a little bounce. People were trying to get in at that $4 area to try to ride it back up, but it looks like it's not going to get there. It looks like, or it's not going to break back above. It looks like it's about to flush. So let's see. Again, I'm not saying I understand analysis so well that I can predict this stuff with like perfect accuracy, but there's just certain things that have a higher probability of happening. So yesterday there was kind of a stock that did something like this, and it did a little curl and then bounced back up, and then it flushed down. And I would have never ever guessed that it was going to do that little curl. But yeah, it kind of looks like I was right here. So even if you're like what they call a perma bull, which means that you only trade the long side, which is what I do. I'm just not comfortable enough shorting. There's unlimited risk with shorting, so and you really don't need to short if your goal is just to make decent, consistent profit. You can do it all on the long side if you know what you're doing. But in order to be a good long trader, you have to think like a short trader. And it's not an ideal setup, but sometimes you see a what I call a reverse 3-bar play pattern, and you have to think about the 3-bar play pattern that we play long. And when you see the opposite of that setup, that's a sign for shorters to get in, short sellers. So right here, this is at 385. If this thing hits 386, you're going to see a huge flush down, because this is. I mean, it's not an ideal 3-bar play on the short side, but I bet it's good enough. You'll probably see a huge pop down, or breakdown they call it. Oh, there's my alarm in the background. Let's see. 1 second. thing's holding 385. There we go. 381. Should see. Oh, bounce back up. And this is exactly, so if you were shorting this, you would have your stop probably here or here, depending on your risk management level. And if it breaks this level, and if it breaks this level, then we may see the pop back up. So this is why, you know, even when you kind of understand how, again, I mean, maybe the reason why that didn't do what exactly what I was thinking, because like I said, it's not a perfect descending 3-bar setup. You want to see this red bar quite a bit bigger, and then this bar here, resting bar, kind of within this bar, and then that would have been like a textbook 3-bar play. But this almost looks more like a sign of reversal. So anyway, I think that's enough of technical analysis on this chart. The point of this video was to show you the hotkeys anyway. Definitely can't take a trade on this thing anytime soon. Hopefully you got something out of that analysis. Just scroll through one more time. I may not be able to give you a live example of my hotkey action. Maybe there's a lesson right there in and of itself, because part of trading and becoming a good trader and a profitable trader is showing restraint. So even though I want to take a trade because I want to show you how these hotkeys work, I'm not going to break my own rules, because you don't want to get in the habit of that. Yeah, this is another one that could head back up to the high of the pre-market, and that's the only time I would be interested. But again, it's not an ideal setup. I think I was looking at this earlier to kind of chop around and then break the high a day, and it didn't. It came back up for a retest here, and never got through. And then looks like the short sellers kind of sensed the weakness and then got in, and now this thing's flushing down. So this is backside. Got a cat jumping on me. Let's see. This thing looks like garbage. I'm going to take that off the list. And I think that's the one we were looking at. This looks like crap right now. I would have to regain all of that space to be interesting. Huh. So I'm not going to do this one because like I said, I've already traded today, and this is a higher price stock. I'd rather be in something that's like in the $2 to $5 range to show you this example. But yeah, if this one gets up around these highs here and maybe does some bouncing around, it might go past the high of day. All right, so I think I'm going to wrap up this video. I was hoping that one of those would curl back up and I'd get to show you how I use my hotkeys, but my cat again. But anyway, that just didn't work out. But we got some interesting technical analysis in, and yeah, and then let me just show you real quick before I end the video the rest of my setup and the way that I use these hotkeys. So I showed you this. I'm buying for my full position size. You have to decide what that is. Scaling out for half of that size. I have this little cushion here just in case, because I like to buy into price strength. So price is jumping up and I want to get filled, but you don't want to be too far away from where I want to get filled. So I have this like plus 1 cent to give me just a little cushion, give me a better chance of getting filled. And then the sell, this is scaling out with half my position size. Same thing here in the opposite direction. If I want to get out, I want to be able to get out. And so I'm willing to take 1 cent lower than where I put my order. And then this one here is like my basically my stop loss button. So this is so let's say I'm in the trade and it fails or it's failing, you know, I know that, okay, this isn't going to work out the way I wanted it to, and I just want to sell everything all at once, then I would use this button here. Oh, I didn't even show you the hotkeys that I have these set to. This is something you have to figure out for yourself, but my buy button is Control Z, and then my scale out button is Alt Z. So I'll, you know, I can have my fingers in one position and trigger those. And then this one's a little bit more awkward to trigger, but it's not one that I plan on using that often. And that's the Alt A, and that's to get out of everything all at once when it fails. The other key to using the hotkeys in Webull is you want to have your auto send feature selected. Otherwise, if you don't, here I can kind of mimic if I wanted to buy into this stock. I hit Control Z. Uh-oh. That's not what I wanted. Let me get out. All right, so luckily that is weird, man. I guess I'm kind of glad that happened, because what I was trying to show you, and this is, wow, that's scary, man. So the auto send thing is supposed to give you a warning before you put in, wow, this thing run up. But, you know, it wasn't a trade I was trying to get into anyway, so I have no business being in there. But, man, that is crazy. The market today, holy crap. The momentum is back, man. The bulls are definitely back. We're going to be able to make some money this week, it looks like. So anyway, that is not what I wanted to happen, and I'm not going to FOMO back into that at all. Did I get lucky there that wasn't a loss or even a break even, because I did not want that order to fill. And that's what the auto send thing, let me pull this back up and let's see, I thought they might have information here. But okay, maybe this is a bug in this version of Webull. But the auto send feature, what that used to do is when you would click your, there might be another reason why it didn't work, and I'll talk about it, but when you click your buy button, it's supposed to give you a window that says, are you sure you want to place this order? You click OK, and then it puts you in. And I don't use that because I already know if I'm putting an order in, I really want to be in the stock or out of it. So I always have auto send, and then when you hit your hotkey, it goes right through. But you saw there that even without the auto send, it went through. The other reason why that might have happened is because I have my normal trade set up, the order preference, show order confirmation. So if I had that clicked, then I'm pretty sure it would have popped up with that little box and said, are you sure you want to place this order? What is this clear trade? So that has nothing to do with it. So anyway, yeah, so if you're brand new, you want to have that clicked, but if you already know what you're doing, you don't want that clicked, because that's just going to slow you down if you're trying to scalp like me. But anyway, man, that was weird. Okay, so forget anything I said about the auto send, because obviously that's not working the way I thought it would. But if, like I said, if you know what you're doing, you understand how hotkeys work, and you understand a good setup, and your risk management is good, then you want to have the auto send selected so that you get in and out as quickly as possible. And then the other little things that I have set up are, so auto send, oh yeah, right there, it should tell me, no, there's no info there. Okay, here we go. Yeah, see, this is exactly what I thought. It says order confirmations will be skipped and no double confirms for cancel all and close. So I had that unselected. You saw that. I had that unselected, and it did not give me an order confirmation. It just went through. So maybe there's something I'm missing there. If you know more, let me know. I have my cancel all button selected. This doesn't seem to work in the, oh, no, wait, never mind. I haven't tried that one yet in the pre-market. I haven't had to use it. But that essentially cancels all pending orders. If you have an order in that didn't get filled, you can hit that button you could set it to a hotkey, or you can click here and it'll cancel it. And then close this. I tried earlier and didn't work out in the pre-market, but I've only tried it once, so I'm not quite sure about that one yet. What this should do is close any open position. So if you have an order in and it's like, let's say it's failing, or you just want to sell out for whatever reason, you should be able to just hit the close button either here, or if you set it up for a hotkey, hit that, and then it exits your, well, it'll put an in limit order to sell wherever the price is, wherever the current price is, and as long as the price stays there or goes above it, it should sell out. And I think that's it for my hotkeys. Working orders, that just shows the order number, like if I have one order and two orders that are working. So that's it. Wow, that's crazy. So some interesting stuff happened in that video. It's kind of long, but if you stuck around, I think you got something out of it. So anyway, let me know in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck out there.